G'day and good morning, evening, afternoon, the denizens of the 41st millennium. Welcome to another magnificent episode of the Warhammer Meta Chasers. My name's Adam Camilleri. I'm joined by the mogul himself, the man with the finest jacket in the land, Dustin Henshaw.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I am going to be getting a new jacket soon. Not that this one is not awesome, but my shoulders are getting bigger. I might have this one. I'm getting another one. I'm looking for one exactly the same, just bigger. My shoulders.
Should we auction off the jacket?
Are you kidding me? No, this is mine now. If anything, I give it back to someone else.
We're also joined by the ravaged and mauled corpse of Sanguinius, as is tradition. Paul is, I believe, he's either on the road or he had some like recital commitments with one of his children. Either way, good luck to the corpse of Sanguinius and all his future endeavors. We are here and we have a wonderful 3-pack of incredible events coming up for you this weekend, which we're going to be running down in full force. We have the Cherokee Open starting us off, and then we have the Manchester Super Major, and then lastly the Pyra Cup. And this is going to be really, really juicy. We do apologize we didn't bring you a show last week. Health got the better of us on that one, unfortunately, and other commitments. We are not the spring chickens we once were.
Unfortunately.
Sanguinius' corpse least of all, of course.
Yeah, see? Like, Sanguinius was probably here. We just didn't know.
Yeah, he was here.
Or the Sanguinius was here. One way couldn't do the back end, that's all.
But jumping straight into this goodness, my man, we have got the Cherokee Open from Cherokee, North Carolina, USA. It's one of the FLG Frontline Gaming events. Been running for a couple of years now and has been going pretty freaking strong. 432 players over 7 rounds. This is going to be spicy. Give us the rundown of what we're going to see.
So in the Imperial Booster faction, there are 9 Sisters of Battle, 16 Custodes, 9 Admech, 20 Astra Militarum, 7 Grey Knights, and 5 Imperial Knights. Space Marines was 48 Adeptus Astartes, 20 Dark Angels, 13 Space Wolves, 13 Blood Angels, 6 Black Templar, and 2 Death Watch. Good God. Okay, Chaos is 15 Chaos Space Marines, 14 T-Suns, 23 Death Guard, 24 World Eaters, 14 Emperor's Children, 22 Demons, and 11 Chaos Knights. Xenos is 32 Necrons, 9 Orcs, 18 Tau, and 16 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 18 Tyranids and 8 Gene Circle. Wow, those are crazy Hive Mind numbers. Then Eldari, there's 11 Drakari and 11 Eldari. I mean, the faction podium is, you guessed it, Adeptus Astartes, topping it off at 48. And then the Cliffs of Ultramar down to the Necrons at 32. Then the Black Pillars holding back Chaos. It's the World Eaters at 24. What is these call-outs are calling here? And then Death Guard behind them with 23 and Demons behind them with 22. That is a crazy podium.
It's wild. You don't get the pillars thing? Like Acadia, they had the pylons and the pillars that were holding back the Eye of Terror.
Oh, okay. I get it.
You don't get it? And because the next 3 factions were Chaos, it was... You know, I spent a lot of time on that, Dustin.
Okay. Well, maybe the listeners got it better than I did. Maybe they're more into this than
I. It should have, in all honesty, it should have been pylons, the black pylons.
Pylons would have
whatever.
Got the they understand for sure.
102 approximate Space Marine Codex players out of 432 players.
That's insane.
Whoa, over a fifth, less than a quarter. That is insane. Just absolutely full meta takeover by Adeptus Astartes.
Yep.
Like, it's not even close. There's no other super faction that even, I believe, crosses 60. Yeah, maybe Chaos. Maybe Chaos crosses like the 70.
Chaos does for sure.
Yeah, but it's just nuts to see such prevalence from a single codex, even if there is a bunch of sub factions. But when I say 102 total, like 48 of those, almost 50% of them are just straight playing out of that codex. I have done the detachment breakdown, but are there any other factions here that jump out to you?
I mean, having 18 Tyranids, it's not a podium finish, but
it's a healthy number.
432, that's a lot more than we normally see. Is there something in the Tyranids that's different? Because we haven't gotten anything new in a while. I don't know what the meta has shifted. The big Tyranid players go, oh, maybe this is our time.
So I'm seeing a lot of Tyranid players starting to go wider, either via going MSU if they're trying to play the tunnels, which I've seen dropping off quite a bit, or trying to go Horde in Invasion Fleet, which is the one I'm seeing more often, because you just out OC or the Catan, and then you go, it's too wide for them to really get you. It also actually holds up not too badly against the Ultramarine Menace as well, because unless they're taking double repex, they actually, like a lot of them are taking single repex, double Vindy, hammer strikes, things like that. They don't have Horde clear. Like
Yep.
they don't actually deal with multiple units of 20 NIDs that have feel no pain and get guys back every turn. And so those are some of the reasons that I think NIDs are getting a little bit of agency here. And I think we're due for orcs to start doing the same stuff. But I haven't quite seen that materialize yet. They're still mostly just playing good stuff Warhorde, usually with one unit of 20 plus Gaz. But yeah, so the meta is starting to coalesce around the top of the game, which is the Astartes and the Catan, and to some lesser extent, some of the skew lists that we're seeing out there, like the 6 units Custodian Guard triple Land Raider, so to speak. And of course, I don't think the Hordes quite hold up there because nothing will go through 20 Tyranid Warriors quite like 5 Custodian Guard, especially double shooting before they go in. It's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, there is a lot of people are finding agency. Paul, this is the point where Paul would probably say people have gone, they've, taken the codex to the bathroom with them and they've figured out some new stuff in order to get some agency.
Man, you need those books to read on the toilet, man. That's important. I think that's actually the best place to get a lot of reading done. It really is.
The only place I could do it that would be better, but obviously does not work, is the shower. I do so much good list writing in the shower, but obviously my books will get ruined.
I actually know people that have like tablets in their shower that maybe not for list building. They watch shows in it, but I think for list building, it'd be better. You sit there in the shower.
Yeah.
All right, let's try this detachment now. What can I fit in this here? And it no, that's not good. You would be in the shower for way too long. Way too long. Yeah. Waste of water, man. Waste of water.
Water bill's cooked. But the 3 chaos factions that I'm seeing under the pylons is actually a little interesting to me. We're seeing Death Guard get quite a bit of a resurgence, tooling away from Death Shroud, which is funnily enough, they're usually not taking a double second unit of Death Shroud. They're trying to go for the second unit of Plague Marines with another Rhino, which I think is much better for this meta and much more fit for purpose. Because of course, the Death Shroud, nothing feels worse for the Death Shroud. They're going into like a -1 damage target. They just kind of bounce and die. And so the Plague Marines give them much more agency to have a better shooting phase, with a delivery system plus a very strong fight phase and mortal wound efficacy. But the World Eaters is surprising to me. I'm of the opinion World Eaters are on the downward slope right now, unfortunately, where they still play a relatively just strong pressure game. But I have not seen another meta this edition where you could disrespect World Eaters like you can now with some of the top meta factions. They can kind of just cop the World Eaters damage and not care. It's a bit wild, to be honest.
That's crazy to think when they finally get one of the things they've been missing in the Forge Fiends.
Well, -1 damage Silent King, unless you can hit him with the Exalted 8-bound with the whatever the character, the non-master possession, the Slaughterbound, 3 Exalted 8-bound, like rapid ingress and get into that guy. And even then, if he has all the pylons up, he's just got too many wounds that you need to chew through with a 4-pin vulnerable save. And it gets really awkward, and then you die, and you can't do that again because usually only take one of them. And so there's a lot of really awkward things out there in the meta for World Eaters. So I'm very happy that they've got group representation still. But in saying that, we have 2 data points to talk over. The first of which is the Astartes detachment breakdown. Yes, I used an entire lunch break at my day job to look at all 48 freaking Adeptus Astartes lists. And I hopefully all respect that. I could have taken my break. Instead, I did this and yawn because this was exhausting. Of the 48 total Adeptus Astartes lists, a full half of them are playing Blades of Ultramar.
No, it's not really surprising.
However, are playing Forge. No surprise whatsoever. What was surprising was the lack of Gladius. So it's only 4 Gladius, but 24
I feel like Blade of Ultramar is just a better Gladius, though.
It's a better Gladius into this meta specifically because you have the -1 to wound. The -1 to wound is better than the fight on death in this meta at the moment because your units are getting like one shot, one tap. There's not really a grindy meta for you to use a fight on death to kind of.
Just like you were saying, one of the major things you want to use that against things like World Eaters, and if they're not going to be something you're worried about in the meta, then
correct. Yeah,
-1 to wound is way better.
Exactly right. Grindy melee matchups is where you want that, but the -1 to wound is just better for where we're at right now. So 24 Blades of Ultramar, 6 Forgefather Seekers, 4 Gladius Task Force, 4 Hammer of Averni, which I actually think is a little bit of a sleeper. I think it could go quite well. 3 people still playing Shadowmark Talon, good for you. 3 Ironstorm Spearheads, 2 Vanguard Task Force, a single lad playing Anvil Sea Force, and a single bowler playing a Shield of the Emperor, which is the Imperial Fist one, for people who don't know. And yeah, that is all 48 freaking lists.
That is a lot of Astartes. I was about to say Marines, but that's not all the Marines. That's just all the Astartes.
It's just the Astartes. There is another what, 102 minus 48. There is another 54
Good
Astartes
God.
players this event.
I hope you
Yeah.
guys are ready to fight Power Armor in your list, because if you're not, you're going to have a bad time.
I really do hope everyone is tooled up and prepared, because there's no dodging it, man.
Nope,
There is
no
really
dodging.
no dodging them. Yeah, it's a 7-round event. You're going to run into them every time. I'm really keen on the Forge Father Seekers. I think if I was playing Marines at the moment for this meta, that's where I would want to be, because of the mortal wound output, because of the efficacy of Melter, and Melter getting it past damage modifiers as well, as in the Melter number goes after the damage modifier. I think Forge Father Seekers is the silver bullet. The issue is it has bad matchups elsewhere in the meta.
Yeah.
It like legitimately has like just stunningly like bad into guard, because you have to use all your best units to try and kill the Bulgrin, and then you don't have anything for the Dawns, or vice versa, or the other way around. Like they front load the Dawns at you got to use all your best units, and then they all get run down by Bulgrin and Rough Riders and nonsense. Kazakin get to trade up into you, as well as, you know, people are starting to stack a lot more Scions as well. Although the guard numbers aren't super high here. There's 20 out of 400. And 30, so they're not super high. So that's one you could like think you may not run into. If you run into it, you're going to run into it once.
Yeah, which is actually surprising too, because Grizzled Company is really good.
Yeah, Grizzled is stupendous. Did take a little bit of a hit, but it's still really.
I mean,
good.
yeah, they no longer reroll 1s to wound on objectives. I'll be honest, I tested that list. I tested that list 3 times, and I absolutely dominated with it, and I forgot about that rule. I didn't use it.
So for guard, the strength characteristic of the weapon has never been the weak point of guard.
No, no, it has not.
The wound roll has not been the issue.
Never.
Like for a long time. You're shooting like the outside las guns, of course, whatever las guns, but everything apart from a las gun is a plasma gun or better.
Yep.
And so why do you care about that wound roll? Like it does not touch the side.
Well, I guess they're just rolling a lot of 1s, which is fair, you know.
Yeah, it was nice to have while they had it, but it's not by any means a death knell to the detachment. Yeah. And what I've been saying for a long time is more Scions, more better in Grizzled. And now that is now justified additionally.
You know what? When it actually doesn't make a difference is when your opponents are not staying off objectives specifically, so you don't get that reroll 1s to wound, right? If it's reroll all wounds, then you see them stay up. But if they're not staying off objectives to prevent you from getting that, it means it's not doing enough.
Yeah,
so you're fine.
Correct. All right, we have one list to break down. This is the top ranked player in attendance in the ITC. This is Max Berlov, who is second in the ITC in the USA. He's playing Star Shatter Arsenal and Necrons with a twist. Catan list, my man. He has a Catacomb Command Barge with Dread Majesty, a Technomancer with the Chronos and Peters field, which is going to be giving out the -1 damage. Silent King, a Reanimator, Canoptic Spider, a single unit of 6 race that will have the Technomancer and the Crypto Thralls, 5 Death Marks, 3 DDAs, 3 Doomsday Arcs, 5 Flayed Ones, 3 Ophidians, a Triarch Stalker. And I had to say at the bottom here, what is this? Mid to 2025.
I was going to say, this is like a Shatterstar from a year ago.
It's a Shatterstar from literally like a first press Shatterstar from when the detachment came out last Grotmas. And this is the counter Necrons Catan list. This is the Necron players circling around the drain, trying to dodge the things that are there to counter the best thing in their army. And so they're coming at it, you know, from behind. They're coming from they're trying to be the Necrons that counter the Necrons and also are good against the counter Necrons armies. So
there's your Inception right there. Inception list.
It is, and it's a very interesting study. Like the 3 DDAs plus Silent King absolutely put out the damage to threaten everything in the game from range, especially with the real ones to hit, ones to wound. Of course, I have found DDAs to be exceptionally unreliable. When shooting into invulns, because they have you're shooting into a 4 or a 5 invuln. You have a random number of shots. You just low roll on the shots like 2 turns in a row, and your game is kind of cooked. You have to be like, okay, race, fingers crossed, you know, make the sign of the
Laskin and Ridge Runners, man. I get it. I get it.
Yeah. You just make the sign of the Aquila and hope the wraiths hold another turn to buy you another turn of shooting. But outside that, this is still just a good list, well constructed, and sure. I do think Max is going to do quite well. And it's so funny. So I've often described the meta of the game as there being 3 ways to approach it. You either play the meta, as in you play what is good in the meta. You play what is good against exactly what the meta is, or you play what is good into that.
Yep.
So you play meta, you play counter meta, or you play like counter meta. And this is a counter meta. And of course, it's Necrons. So like the floor is very high on scoring potential and reliability. All right, dude, time to pick us some winners. Of course, Paul is not here, so he will be defaulting to Blood Angels because God knows I'm not giving him Astartes.
Absolutely not. There's still 13 Blood Angels. They're still fun.
There's plenty. What would you like, brother?
I have to do it because there's so many of them. I'm gonna do Tyranids.
Oh, my man. I'm gonna not be a douche and pick Astartes.
That's right. I was gonna outright call you a douche if you did, but
and I'm not gonna pick Necron. I'm not gonna pick Necrons either. And like the entire podium of this event could be Astartes and Necrons.
Oh, it's gonna be both those. We are fully admitting right now. We know it's actually gonna be Necrons and Astartes. We're going against that because that's boring.
It's boring, man. It's easy points.
Easy points. We don't need easy points here.
No,
we get real points.
Well, I don't know if you know what the points are for this month, but I don't need easy points.
Well, I never need easy points, Adam. I've already won a year. I'm fine.
Yeah, well, as the two members of the team who have won a year.
Yep.
Fair. Anyway, moving on. We have the Manchester Super Major from Manchester, England. 296 players, 7 rounds. Tell us the tale of the tape, dude.
In the Imperial faction, there are 1 Imperial Agent, 8 Sisters of Battle, 17 Custodes, 5 Admech, 14 Astra Militarum, 4 Grey Knights, and 6 Imperial Knights. Space Marines are still 24 Adeptus Astartes, 11 Dark Angels, 8 Space Wolves, 16 Blood Angels, 7 Black Templar, and 4 Death Watch. Chaos, there's 9 Chaos Space Marines, 5 T-Suns, 19 Death Guard, 9 World Eaters, 7 Emperor's Children, 15 Demons, and 10 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 25 Necrons, 12 Orcs, 14 Tau, 15 Votan, Highbind, there's 13 Tyranids again, 3 Genies they're called. Eldari, there's 8 Drukhari and 9 Eldari, with the Eldari numbers just being equal across the board, like everywhere, every week.
Pretty much.
And the faction podium is Necrons, topping it off with no real surprise, 25. And then Adeptus Astartes right behind them with 24. Death Guard still making a podium spot with 19. And then Custodes making an appearance with 17. And Blood Angels right behind them with 16.
So still 40 Astartes on our faction podium.
40 out of like almost 300. It's still low representation.
No. But that's just on our podium. That's just the 24 Astartes and 16 Blood Angels in our faction podium. Yeah. So we got 35 plus 8, 43 plus 16, 53, 59, 66, 70 Astartes out of 269. So that is definitely less percentile.
It's definitely lower percentile, but not by much. Not by much.
Yeah, not by a wild amount. Still really good numbers for Death Guard. Death Guard definitely getting a resurgence in the meta at the moment. Adeptus Astartes, so Astra Militarum numbers not that impressive, but quite a lot of Custodes. What has been surprising to me is the continued mediocre numbers for Adeptus Sororitas. Even before their latest couple of points nerfs, they were like a top 3 faction in the game, and they have not significantly dropped out of that position. They have shifted down a little bit. They're probably no longer pushing like that A+ S tier, but there's still definitely an A tier army with all the tools into the current game. Everything I said about Forge Father Seekers being good into the meta at the moment, you could say just for a generic good stuff, Sisters list brings like most of that with them outside the mortal wound point and click potential.
Yeah, for sure.
But then they have miracle dice to do so many other things.
Yeah, exactly. Like, all the Tyranid are switched from GSC as they know it's not a faction. Shut up, Erwin.
He found the button. You found the button.
That's the new wince button.
It's the wince. Yeah, the Walker and the wince. Flyer it. But yeah, World Eaters numbers way down here, as well as Emperor's Children. Demons still doing quite well on the number side of things. I was a little surprised there wasn't more Xenos. Like there's still relatively decent numbers for Orcs, Tau, and Votan, but I would have expected a handful more for any one, if not 2 of those. And your Eldari and Drukhari numbers still seem to be hovering around that, 10
I have seen a pretty big
players.
surge in Tal. I don't know if you've noticed it, but I've noticed the Tal actually have a really good game into the Satan meta right now. Like they crush Satans. They
dude, there's kind of not many games where you feel bad. They don't love the guard game.
No.
In some, depending if they're Montcar, Cowyon, or Red Card. Red Card doesn't love the Tower game, doesn't love the guard game as much because they've got too much in reserve and they're going to get screened out from the good drop zones and stuff like that. And so they have to start more on the table, which gets awkward, and they miss out a bunch of value, stuff, yada yada. But there is not that. There's like that. I can't tell you a faction right now that runs over Tower. Can't tell you what runs over Tower right now. They just kind of hold up really well.
They have a game into everything, it feels like.
Yeah, Votan seem to be in a similar position, just to a little bit of a lesser extent, where they kind of nothing just just knocks them over. In fact, actually, Tau is one of the armies that threatens to do it to them.
Yeah.
But they're just a very even performer at the moment.
I've seen a lot more like MSU builds coming out of the Votan, and I really like how they're feeling because they still do a lot of damage. They have a good trade up potential, and they can fit more in your list than you thought they would. Just because they were bringing like bricks because the bricks were really good. They did a lot of damage, but I feel like they do better when they go wide.
Well, what a coinky dink. You want to fast forward to the list I broke down for the Manchester Super Major. Next one. Greg Chamberlain, who represented the WTC for Team England in 2025, and if he's applying this year, he probably has a damn good chance of going back to back. He is playing Leagues of Votan Hearthband, and he's going wide, super wide, 0 land forts. And I am down. Down with
that's crazy.
He's got a Hearthband detachment. He's got 2 Arcanist Evaluators. Do you know what these guys do?
Yes. As long as you have no follow-up questions, yes, I do.
So they have a profile. They have a gun with 3 profiles.
Oh, you know? So I don't need to look it up, or am I looking?
No, you don't. I'm good. I'm good. Okay. I looked it up specifically for this because I didn't know what they did. So they got 1 gun with 3 profiles. They're fit for purpose, pretty much. Whichever one you need, you're going to have one at your fingertips. They have loan up within 3 inches of another Votan unit.
Oh yes, I actually do know what they do because yep. Definitely.
Correct. So he's playing Lone Op MSU. He's got 3 cards, one with Bastion Shield, one with Iron Sky, so adding durability to the 2 units of Hearthguard that are going to be in this army. Memory Strategist and Uther because you need the CP. 10 Hearthkin that are going to be split up on a Sagittar, 1 Capricus Carrier, 2x3 Thunderkin and 2x5 Berserks, 2x10 Hearthguard to get the 2 good Carl enhancements, and then 3x3 Pioneers and a unit of 10 Jaegers. So he is going super wide and then dropping bombs with the 2 units of Hearthguard. And I think this list is sick. I think this list should be adopted immediately by the Votan community because I hate to say it, I think like every one of my instincts says that land forts are in a good place into the meta at the moment, but they're not putting up results. So yeah, sure, land forts are great. Their range is a little lacking into some of the thick stuff.
That's where it comes down to. I think their range is actually the lacking piece of them. Their range hurts them.
Yes, and so I'm unfortunate.
The AP on the longer range guns. I think that's the other thing. The AP1, I believe, on those ones on
the bolters.
The bolters.
They're just bolters. Yeah. They were like, couldn't even think of another name for them. And yeah, the land forts are just kind of not getting it done. And this is what I say this to Dark Angels players all the time and Night players now at the moment. If what you are taking is not putting up the results, stop taking it. Do some other stuff. And Greg Chamberlain is, I think, leading the way in Votan innovation. And this is an extremely good example, in my opinion, of a Votan list that is building for a different purpose. We saw a kind of halfway to this list by Junior Aflehi at Palm Springs, where he was taking multiple units of 5 Hearthguard and he was taking a bunch of bits and pieces all over the place. And I believe he's playing that exact same list at our previous event in Cherokee. So we're interested to see how this one does this weekend at the Super Major and how that one does for the Votan faithful out there, because I think this is a fantastic way to play Votan right now.
Okay.
All right.
I like it.
Flip us back 1 slide. I did the Custodies.
We look at for arrows. There we go. I found it.
I did the Custodies detachment breakdown for this one because they did make the faction.
Oh no, you typed it. You got to do your best impression of Goldfigure now. Goldfigure.
I love
gold member. That was terrible.
I'm not going to give him a heart. Anyway, everyone is reading that in the correct voice right now. Anyway, of the 17 Custodies players in attendance, 7 of them Talons of the Emperor, 6 are your good old Shield Host, 3 Lions of the Emperor, and 1 absolute baller playing Solar Spearhead for I don't know why. Just because
he's a baller because that Solar Spirit, he's going aggressive.
Has to. Cannot do anything else.
Absolutely have to.
Imagine looking at the meta right now and being like,
I want
medium durability.
I want to be in their face with medium durability right now. That's exactly what I want.
Yeah,
that is a baller move.
Can't wait. I absolutely baller.
Well, I mean, if there's no world leaders, if you're not going to come to me, I'm coming to you. We're gonna make this fight happen. Maybe he just wants to make the games quick. I can appreciate that too.
So I am in agreement with the Custodies players of this event. I think Talons of the Emperor is in fact the best Custodies detachment for the current builds because you get the double reactive moves and you get mortal wound insulation, which I think is both 2 very important things if you're going to be spamming Custodies chassis. And by that, I mean like infantry chassis, in addition to the Land Raiders. I mean, what's the best way to get rid of Land Raiders? Grenade it, and then kill it. And you're just going to have a bunch of good redundancies into that, and your delivery systems are going to stay alive for you to get out and get back in with your reactive moves. So I do agree with that. I do think Shield Host and Lines of the Emperor have the bigger upside of damage potential over Talons, with the exception of that really good shooting stratagem. That thing's +1 strength, +1 AP, and of course you can slap that on the Draxus unit and just go absolutely to town. But outside that, yeah, Shield Host and Lions definitely have a better like damage ceiling, but your Custodes literally outside of the Catan matchup, you don't need much more damage than you already have. So I'm all the way down with Talons. I think it is what I would be doing also. Just being jankier. Anytime you can save a Custodes unit, man, that just takes you so much deeper.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. A big difference.
Yeah. What do you read on Custodes in the meta at the moment?
Right now, if it's not triple Land Raider in the Talons, I don't know, man, because I feel like that list is just so good in the meta right now for so many reasons. And it's honestly, I think it's the best Custodes build we've seen this edition. Like, let's be real.
So only time I say they were better was at the start of the edition when they had the 3 units of 10 Custody Guard with fights first.
I don't know. I think this is better, to be honest. Because that one was a lot more. That might have been better in the meta because it was very heavy melee meta at the time. So okay, I could see that being better at that time.
To be fair, this version of Custodes has to contend with Catan and Ultramarines. That version of Custodes had to contend with Wraith Knights.
Sure.
So it's always going to
also have a 4-up field no pain to devs back then too, though.
In those back, I don't believe they had any mortal wound protection.
If I one of the attachments did.
They may have had a 1 CP strat for 5-up field no pain, which ain't saving you from a D6 +6 like freaking Wraith Cannon.
Roll
shot.
5s. Play demons for the.
It's fine. Oh, it's fine. Just roll 5s.
Yeah, it's easy. Get saves. I'm not used to having saves against anything. You don't stop complaining.
Anyway, let's pick some winners here, brother. Once again, Blood Angels made the podium here, so definitely Paul's getting the BA.
Yeah.
What would you like again?
I picked first last time, so you can pick this time.
It's true. It's true. Am I just going to go Death Guard all weekend? I am just going to go Death Guard all weekend.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I'm even putting it in for my next one as well. I'm putting it in for Pyra.
We're going to keep it juicy. You know what? I will go Custodes.
I think that's fine. That's fine.
It's fine.
Part of me wants to pick my boy, Brian Jones, who's playing a very similar list to what I've been spruiking for Imperial Knights. You know what? No, I am doing that. I'm picking exactly Brian Jones with Imperial Knights.
You're typing Imperial Knights, but I'm not seeing Brian Jones. You're just typing.
Fine. All right, into our last event for your viewing pleasure before we get to some silliness at the back end. This is the Pyra Cup. I have no idea how to pronounce that town. I'm not even going to attempt. Starts with an M.
No, Paul would do it if he was here, Adam. You have to do it.
Midzurachik.
Your screen is not frozen. That was Adam pausing trying to do it. That sounded pretty good, though. That sounded good.
I did my best to comprehend.
It's probably completely off, but I think it sounded good. So
I 100% brutalized that. But this is in Poland, and this is 64 players in 8 national teams.
Mm-hmm.
So what this is, Pyra Cup is usually used as a WTC prep. And usually what would happen is 2 to 3 of your starting WTC lineup will be attending and playing alongside, 6, 5, 4 of your academy picks or your prospects, and you'll chuck them into this pressure cooker against similar teams and see what comes out. So there's 8 different national teams represented here. Poland has 2. They're the home country. They had to bring up a mercenary team to pick up to the 8th team. But there's 64 players, 8 teams, 5 rounds, mate. What are we going to see there? And we, of course, caveat, you can only take each faction once per team of 8. So the most you'll see for any faction is 8. And the closer you get to probably about 6, anything of 5 or more, you should absolutely assume is one of the best teams armies in the game.
All right, let's have a look. See, so the Imperial Super Faction, there are 2 Sisters of Battle, 3 Custodes, 6 Admech, so only 2 teams didn't take Admech, 5 Astra Militarum, and 1 single Imperial Knight, Space Marines are 6 Adeptus Astartes, 1 Blood Angel, and 1 Black Templar. So every single team does have Space Marines on their team.
Correct.
Chaos was 5 Chaos Space Marines, 1 T-Sun, 1 Death Guard, 1 Emperor's Children, 4 Demons, and 2 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 6 Necrons, 3 Orcs, 3 Tau, 2 Votan. Highbind, there's 3 Tyranids. I guarantee you they're all Invasion Fleet. Eldaria, there's 5 Drukhari and 2 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is technically total Astartes at 8 because every single team did take some flavor of Astartes, although 6 of them are just plain Adeptus Astartes. And then Necrons, Astartes, Admech all had 6 out of the 8 teams bring one of those. Drukhari, CSM, Astra Militarum all at 5, and then Demons at 4. So according to Pyra Cup meta, the European meta in general for WTC, at least right now, those are your top team factions, according to that.
Really, really happy to see Drukhari hit the podium.
Yeah.
I'm very high on Drukhari in teams. I think they're absolutely spectacular. The fact that I believe they also have in teams format, in differential format, they actually have a good game into pretty much all the top meta, because you look at the top of the meta and everyone's circling around, Victrix, Repex, Catan, Custody removal. And you're like, oh, good. Thank you for stacking anti-tank into your list, mate. I'm going to just play MSU. Freaking nonsense. Absolute nonsense. And I'm going to activation lock you out of primary, which is what a lot of what they're playing. I think just about every single one of those Drukhari lists is Spectacle despite, if I remember correctly. The other one is Admech. Everyone's been talking about the fact that, of course, Admech got slugged fairly hardly, very hard, but not unreasonably in the balanced data slate post Worlds. And then they kind of dropped off the singles meta. And for no reason, in my opinion, they are freaking amazing. And Europe is backing that up with 6 of 8 total teams taking Admech. So they are going to be everywhere. And that, in my opinion, they're absolutely terrifying.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I think they're actually great too. They seem to be very popular in Europe anyway. They're picking up pace around North America. And we all know that in Australia, anybody that has them there, good on you, because it ain't easy. But now they're getting new stuff too.
Yes, indeed. You just got a new character and unit announced. Can't wait to see what they do. So KR in chat, I know the Germans skipped Crons. Did the French also? No, the French did not skip Necrons. They took, so it's Arnaud, who's an awesome lad who came second in the Warmaster singles, I think, 2 years ago. He's playing a Beason's Phalanx.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. He's spicing it up. Go and check out that list if you have the time over on BCP, because it is a lot to unpack and try and get your head around why he's doing that. And I'm keen. He's got triple Triarch Stalkers in that list, which I think is sick. But yeah, so the demon numbers, I'm assuming. In surprise to many, the demon numbers have dropped off quite considerably. There's only 1 scintillating legion, I believe, out of the 4 demons. The other 3 are demonic incursion.
Okay, I mean, demonic incursion is still. I'm not gonna say the best, because scintillating legion is better, but it is the best all-round list, I think, for demons.
Yeah. So here's the thing about scintillating legion. Of course, it did just take a nerf in the fact that the puppet is still 10 points for the infernal puppet, and it was a nerf. You will have to play differently, but I think the issue is, unlike so many other factions, Scintillating Legion actually doesn't have that much X factor. It can only do what it does. And what it does is very face up, and everyone really can get like just 2 reps into Scintillating Legion with their chosen faction, and that score probably will not change much. That outcome will not change much at all. The only thing that will change is whether the first volley of indirect fire high rolls or doesn't high roll. Outside that, like it kind of just is a very plottable game. And so even if you are in a bad matchup versus Scintillating Legion, teams that are this good will know how to get points out of them. Like, even if it's a red matchup, you're like, well, I'm walking away with a 5. Like, because I don't believe Scintillating Legion necessarily tables many good players, but will get consistent wins. And turns out most of Europe and the USA is attending this as well, have come to the same conclusion. Mind you, USA did take Scintillating Legion, which is very interesting. So have they been clouded by their meta, or are they correct? We will find out.
Yes.
We have 2 teams to unpack for their 8 packs. The first of which is the home nation, Poland. Poland is, like I said, is sending 2 teams. They have Poland A and Poland B. Both are definitely worth a look in because there is some spice in there. But Poland A is a little more stacked Well, I can recognize the names in Poland A more readily. And as you can see, I have no idea who is actually in this team due to Polish naming conventions. So I have some assumptions about who's in this team. Like Skark is in this team. I believe Pumba's in this team, who was their championship WTC captain from a couple of years ago. Now, their 8-pack consists of Tau Retaliation Cadre, Drukhari Spectacle of Spite, Admech, Halo Screed, Battleclade. I think every single Admech, by the way, is Halo Screed. They're also taking units of 10 Corpuscari in a lot of their lists, which I think is very cute. They have Chaos Space Marines, Hurons, Marauders, and that's another thing to unpack. So there is plenty of CSM at this event, but more of them are taking Hurons, Marauders than Renegade Warband. There's 2 Renegade Warbands, and I believe there's 3 Hurons Marauders, which is going to be another one that's interesting to unpack. Tyranid Invasion Fleet, Custodes Talons of the Emperor, Astartes Ultramarines Blades of Ultramar, and Necrons Star Shatter. Outside of exactly the CSM take, none of that slaps me in the face is especially spicy. But Retaliation Cadre is a little bit, to be honest, over taking Monkar.
Yep. No, I think it's all pretty. The Drukhari pick is... Like, I'm excited for it, and I think it's good. It's just, it feels out of meta right now, but I think that's going to change because, like we were talking about, they have a very good, especially in teams. Spectacle of Spite in the right match. Like, they have a game into everything, but in the right matchup, there's nothing some lists can do. Nothing.
So the way I see it, we have Drukhari, Admech, Tyranids that are all point scorers. They will not and should not get blown out unless something has gone horrifically wrong in the pairings. There's only 1 to 2 armies in the entire game that threatens to give those armies less than a 5 in differential for Tyranids, Admech, and Drukhari. Tyranids on the lower end of things, they need a little more protection in the matchups. They can get bullied a little bit more efficiently. That is Horde Tyranids, by the way. That is 2010 Hormagaunts and then 2020 Termagants. And then 2x10 Gene Stealers as well. So he's gone very thick, and he's hoping to catch some of those anti-tank lists and just add value.
Lists, I think, are supposed to they're running at least 40 Gaunts, like 2x20, at least 20 Stealers, if not 30. And Hormagaunts always make a spot in the 2. The G Stealers seem to be the best kill unit the Tyranids have right now, like most reliable one.
Yeah, because of the reels to wound you, right?
Well, they get real ones to hit and wound if you're on an objective, but an invasion fleet because they can get lethals against monsters and vehicles, and they can have crit 5s with the number of attacks that they have. Like they do damage, and they have good AP as well. Like at least in terms of Tyranids, they have good AP too.
So there is nothing overly surprising in the lists that you would expect. I think there's 1 more unit of crisis suits in the Retaliation Cadre list. I think they've gone either 4 units of crisis suits, 2 Riptides as their build, and then the bits and pieces. I'm much more normal for me to either see an all-in of like 5 or 6, or just the 3 with 3 good characters adjoined and the good enhancements. But yeah, so the Tau Retaliation Cadre is the X factor that, if paired correctly, will get a big win. The Drukhari, Admech, and Tyranids, I believe, are the scrappers that can kind of get a 12 versus anything. They capitalize on mistakes extremely well and just can't get blown out, and all with potential upside. That's the thing about Spectacle of Spite, right? That Spectacle of Spite sits at like, unless this is like the worst matchup that I have, and there's probably only 1 or 2 of those in your lineup, I start at like 7 points if everything goes wrong. If every single thing goes wrong, I'm still walking away with 7 points from my team.
Yep,
and that's what Spectacle is bringing to this equation, which is why I think it is fantastic in 8-mans. In 5s and 6-player events, it can get a little bit less return. But when you have 8 players, man, it slides in like beautiful. Custodes is Custodes, nothing to say there. Astartes, Necrons. Those are the only ones really worth unpacking. Outside Hurons, Marauders, mate. What's your wavelength on the new CSM detachments?
I actually like it a lot. I feel like it has play from a couple different of the other detachments that make it just a little bit better. It gives it more play into the meta, I think. I feel like it's more of a singles detachment though, but it obviously could be built for teams as well. If Poland thinks so, then I want to see what. In fact, I'm going to open it up right now because I want to see what they think is the current build. It's brand new, right? So we can't really. Correct. Oh, and it's Vladdy too. So
it's Vladdy, who's very good. There is going to be a lot of very new takes on CSM right now. I'm seeing some of the Hurons Marauders list that are just playing what I call a like better creations of Bile, where they take 2x10 chosen, 1 with Fabi, 1 with Huron Master of the Maelstrom to make the uber Death Star.
He's going wide. He's going wide.
Vladdy is going wide. He is going wide. He's got big units.
That's Vladdy. That's fine. Oh, and he's still got the 3x6 noise marines. I think that's still auto.
It's ubiquitous. It's ubiquitous at this point. You are like, why would you take EC when you can take CSM now? Yeah. And it's kind of a little annoying because you kind of just better with no downsides, right? No downsides.
Yeah.
And in addition, it's way better into 2-up save chassis. Like CSM is just way better into 2-up save chassis than EC is. EC, you can go into a 2-up AOC unit with your good trading piece, which is your Lord with infractors, and just be like, did I kill a Victrix guard or didn't I kill a Victrix guard? It's disgusting and probably really frustrating for the players out there. But this Chad Vladdy has Harken World freaking Claimer and 10 Raptors. And I'm just like, mate, please do amazing things with this. I want this to be good. Harken World Claimer has been the best model with the crappiest rules for like 5 years. Anyway,
he'll be fine. He'll do work. He will absolutely do work. 10 Raptors and 5 Raptors. That's more Raptors than I've seen this entire edition in the list so far.
Me too. All right, into the United States. Of course, we are very aware of the demographics of the people who watch our show. Of course, we're going to always champion the home nation, which in this case is Poland. And of course, I got a bunch of mates in Poland as well. They're all mad lads, and they freaking best 40K nation in the world. Why wouldn't you want to champion it? But the United States of America, this is what they are bringing, because they are taking some very, very, very fun lists and some very good players. But they are a legit bunch of nobodies. Take that, boys. They start off with a Necron Star Shatter Arsenal. That's Anthony freaking Vanilla. They got Vanilla to play Star Shatter. I'm like, what happened, Anthony? What used to be cool. You dead set used to be cool. They have a Renegade Warband of Chaos Space Marines. Then they have Champions of Faith, Adeptus Sororitas, a Tau Moncar, that is Durante Bozzini, who won the Palm Springs Open. They have Folger Piles playing Custodes Talons of the Emperor. This is John Lennon playing the Adeptus Astartes, Blades of Ultramar. Ugh. Do something. I just want to poke John with a stick and be like, do something interesting again, John. Like, yeah. We got Scintillating Legion, Chaos Demons, and Astra Militarum. Recon Element. Yuck.
Oh no. It's that list, isn't it? It is. It's not only that.
It's that player as well.
That makes sense. It all adds up.
And my God, he will 20 Catan. He will 20
Catan cannot do. They can never put Catan in that list. There's no point. Just don't go up to the table.
Every Catan is going to cop 2 units of 20, like idiots, and never going to score a primary point, never going to have the ability to do an action, never going to do anything, tag anything, make it to engage on all fronts, not going to do anything.
No.
And having that in your lineup is massive. Mm-hmm. What I found interesting is that they didn't pair it up with anything else. Like, they didn't go with an Awakened Dynasty of Necron, so to speak. They didn't go with, I suppose with the Champions of Faith, it does to some extent trade off that durability skew. Like, you can play the Champs of Faith with the Recon element, but they match up very differently into different things, but they do bring kind of that brick them up, take away their scoring potential. Kind of
2 by 10 bricks of sacrifice. It's a 1 by 5. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, I think that's just a concession to the point, because you wanted to go a little deeper on the anti-tank and damage output, which I kind of agree with as well.
Oh, I see extra rep troopers. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, extra rets. Yeah, and in all intents and purposes, if you find yourself in a matchup where like sacrosancts aren't good, the other 5 weren't going to matter.
That's true.
Yeah. So yeah, they've got a fresh take on Renegade Warband as well. They're the only Scintillating Legions. The other ones are pretty much what you expect. I think Folger was pioneering, or part of the pioneering process of the no character Custody Guard. Well, no Custodes character Custody Guard, just taking Draxus, the Inquis, 6 units of Custody Guard, 3 Land Raiders. That's exactly what he's playing. That's exactly what Poland A is playing as well. Like point for point, exactly the same. Their Renegade Warband take, I remember being fresh and might be worth unpacking because, of course, brand new detachment. So I'm going to quickly give you guys the rundown. Starts off with Cypher, Huron Blackheart, the Masters of the Maelstrom, Sorcerer and Terminator Armor, who is holding the extra oath, a Trader Enforcer, so 2 Trader Enforcer packages, which is like the company commander plus Ogren, Trader Ogren, and they just run around as 55-point utility units, and I think they're really quite good. 10 Cultists, 1, 2, 3 units of Legionaries, 1 unit of 3 Bikes, triple Rhino, double Vindy, triple Noise Marine. literally playing Space Marines.
Yep.
It's just like the second Blade of Ultramar list in the lineup, which is what that detachment can offer you in teams, by the way.
Yeah, which makes a lot of sense actually. That's a good way to put it, to pair it with the Space Marines that way. It's
Well,
it pairs it perfectly.
If you think about it, so the Chaos Space Marine list has Assault, so it all has Advance and Shoot, and Advance and Charge on demand. Tau is playing Monkar, it's all good Advance and Shoot. Astartes is playing Blades of Ultramar, can have 3 turns of Advance and Shoot. There is a very clear package of 3 range damage dealing lists here that are all going to pair very well into the light tables and the mid tables extremely, extremely potently. And then you have things like the Scintillating Legion, who were very, very happy to play on a heavy. Same goes for the Custodies. They don't mind the heavy as long as they have a lane or 2, to get 2 Land Raiders out onto the table early. And then Adeptus Sororitas don't care about playing a heavy either. And then the Necrons, who gives a crap? It's not about Necron's table pick. It doesn't really matter. It's just like whether they made 25% or 75% of their invulns.
Makes sense.
That's literally what Anthony's list is titled, by the way. It's called "But What If?" But what if you low roll or something? And I thought it was very funny. But anyway, that is that. And it's time for us to pick winners for our final event. I've already picked Death Guard, my dude. Dusty, what would you like?
Just not even thinking about it, eh? For this one, I am going to take Astartes.
Boo. And what do we reckon we give Paul? Because there's only like 1 Blood Angel. So what? We want to throw him a bone?
Or no, you know what? Give him Astartes. Give him Astartes.
Yeah, don't be lame, man.
Give him Astartes. He's going to be lame.
Yeah, Paul can be lame.
Yeah, Paul can be lame. I want to be a little spicier. I'll do CSM.
Nice. I would not be surprised if you, in fact, become correct. And I encourage everybody to follow along with this event and all other of the 2 other events that we have covered this week, but especially this one, because this is going to shape a lot of the upcoming meta. There's Team USA is there, Team Sweden is there, Team Germany is there,
worldwide meta.
France is there, Belgium is there, Austria is there. Like so many of the big name WTC teams are sending a contingent, and they're all going to be battling it out to see who's going to be holding a bit of the what do you want to call it? The mojo going into the WTC season. A bit of bragging rights. But at this time, we are done with the meat and potatoes of this show, and it's time to transition into a bit of a sillier segment where we take a break from the nitty gritty and all the stats and the bean counting and put away the abacus in order to do the Fuego Rapido.
All right, let's do this. We are going to do some classic Fuego because we haven't done it in a while. And it's just Adam and me. I don't want Paul to miss out on some of the other stuff that we've been doing. So we have a classic Fuego for you that we haven't done in a year, over a year probably. So just 5 questions, and we give ourselves 2 minutes to answer. They're just silly, funny, have nothing to do with Warhammer, and will likely shatter our friendship. So
almost definitely.
In fact, if they don't, they were done wrong.
All right, hit me.
Let's start up with the first one. Beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Wow. You know what? That doesn't surprise me. You just didn't need to think about it.
And that's an Australian. We have like some of the best beaches in the world, and I still prefer mountains.
I was wondering about that. Don't you have some nice mountains somewhere too, though?
We have okay mountains. They're not the Alps or anything. Like I went to the top of Mont Blanc in Switzerland, 4
climbing or hiking? Because there's a difference.
No, you can't hike up all the way at that high.
I didn't think so. But in general, for mountains, do you climb or hike preferably?
There's most of the ones in Australia are pretty hikeable. Like only our tallest 4 or 5 are too high for you to do without some serious equipment. So yeah, but we have I have good mountain ranges near where I grew up that are absolutely fantastic. What's weird about the mountains where I am is that it's very flat in every direction, like lonely mountain hobbit style, where there's
that's kind of cool.
One kind of set of 3 or 4 mountains, and everything else is just flat.
So wait, so are you more into the mountains because you have so many beaches? It's not like a novelty to you.
That's what I believe. I believe because we have beaches right over there that are some of the best in the world. I live fairly close to Bells Beach. My brother lives like right next to some of the best surf beaches in the entire world, where they hold like the Billabong Cups and stuff like that, the World Championships. And so that's just like over there. Mountains to us are a little on the rare side.
See, that's the opposite for me, because beaches for me, because we don't have as many of them. Now, that said, there are some like mountain towns in Canada that I've been to that are just beautiful, and I love going to those. So it would be a hard choice based on going to one of those or a beach.
So here's the other thing about beaches for me. I find people in Australia who frequent beaches quite obnoxious.
I think that's a beach thing. I think that's just a beach.
It is. Yeah, whereas
just...
I like if I was to run into a stranger and have a conversation, who am I more likely to enjoy a conversation with? Someone at a beach? Or
okay.
In a mountain?
Okay. I can.
100% mountain.
Okay. I can give you that one. I'll give you that one. All right. Next up, best smell.
Oh, onions and garlic frying.
Wow. That
explains
a lot.
Does. Go on, psychoanalysis. What does that tell you, sir?
Well, see, garlic and onion, they now that is actually a very good smell. Talking about burning them. Burning them is that's
I've never done
smell.
That. I wouldn't know.
A bad smell. Wait, do onions make you cry when you cut them? Do they cheer you up?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I've heard people that actually don't tear up, or maybe they don't admit it, but I just, for the life of me, it does it to me every time, and it drives me nuts. The cooking of that, okay, I could see that, but for me, I think it's freshly cut wood.
What kind of wood? Like cedar, oak?
Like oak.
Because I have a very strong attachment to burning eucalyptus.
Yeah, see, so you'd like that.
Very strong, because I grew up on a farm. We'd have bonfires like every year. We'd have to, before fire season, we'd have to gather up like every freaking leaf and piece of wood we could and burn it off. And me and my brothers would always just like dance around it like pagans. It was awesome. That smell sticks in my head.
See, I have fondness for that smell as well. So, what are you looking at?
Yeah, just looking at the chaos comment. I like Adam's answer, going for that after the rainstorm. Yeah. Post rainstorm forest smell is amazing. I do have a, like, bringing it back to 40K slightly, that new Codex smell.
So yeah, those smells are nice. They are distinct.
Yeah, they're not quite as good, but like that holds a place in my heart. Like when I was a kid, cracking a Codex, like, and just being like, potential. Yeah, that stuff was good.
Yeah, that brings back memories. I like that. Okay. Next up, the most useless kitchen utensil.
Ooh, utensil or like appliance?
You want to do appliance? Let's do both, because I think we could do both pretty quickly.
I have a partner who has a ravenous hate for single-use appliances. Like the only one she if there is a kitchen appliance, it needs to do more than one thing to exist in our home, with the exception of it. She tolerates a juicer.
That literally is a single.
Tolerates a juicer. That's it. But she's tolerated because it can make multiple types of juice. So like, I don't. Yeah. Whatever. She's hard to explain. What about yourself, dude? What's the most useless kitchen utensil?
Useless kitchen utensil. I mean, I've never found a use for a spork.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever owned a spork.
I've owned one. I've never used it.
Yeah, sporks suck.
They suck. Sporks suck.
Unless you literally have bought fried rice from like a restaurant and it's in a little Tupperware container.
Even then,
I have no further use for rice. Forks.
It's a crappy fork. It's a spoon with holes in it. Like what the hell good is it for?
Yeah. Rather than you made two utensils worse.
Yeah, you made two utensils worse. They didn't make any of them better. It didn't make it more convenient. Like it's just stupid. There you go. That's useless. It's pretty stupid. As for an appliance, most useless appliance. Like I wouldn't own them, I hope. So it's harder to think of those. Like what kind of appliance would I never buy?
Yeah, correct. Because if it's useless, I don't own it. I will shout out the box grater for grating me just as often as it grates the cheese or the whatever I'm grating, because box graters are the work of the devil. I have lost knuckles straight up, just like big old flaps of skin going off my hands, and I'm like, why are you like this?
Oh, terrible. Yeah, I can't think of a useless appliance because I don't own any.
I don't own any.
I wouldn't buy it or keep it if it was useless because they take up space.
Ginger grater. So microplane is Erwin's thrown one out.
Oh yeah. Could you land a plane in an emergency, Adam?
On water.
Does that count as landing when you're not on land? I don't think that counts.
It would to me if I was flying.
That completely defeats the entire question. When you're like, can you land a plane? I can put it on water. It's like I can.
No, I couldn't.
I could crash it into water. I can crash it into water remotely safely or relatively safely. Okay, that's the best I could do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I played a lot of Top Gun on the NES when I was a kid, and
perfect simulator.
Man, I swear it's harder to land a plane in that game than it is to do in real life. It has to be. I mean, I have nothing to compare it to, but it has to be, right? It has to be easier. And I was pretty good at it. So I feel like in an emergency, you just come get me. I'll land it, no problem. Piece of cake. As long as there's no mountains or beaches nearby, then we'll be fine.
Nice. Where did this question come from?
Because I'm traveling again soon, so I just.
Oh, okay.
This came up.
So what are the chances that if you had to land a plane in an emergency, you would survive? Out of 5, 1 being no chance, see you later, and 5 being I got this.
And what was the question again?
What is the chances you would survive if you had to land a plane in an emergency?
Oh, if I had to land it, am I the only one on it?
I didn't say that.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Are there other people aboard this plane? Because this really changes the dynamic here.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does.
Do you believe there would be a way for you to land a plane that in which that you would be safer than your passengers?
No, I believe there would be a way I could make it safer for my passengers than me. Because if I'm at the front with all the glass there, it's a little different.
Owen gives himself a 2. That's better than I'm going to give myself.
I'm going to say like a 1.5.
I am dead. If I'm in that position, we are screwed.
1.5 just because of the adrenaline. That's
my biggest issue would be my ADHD. I'd be looking at all the dials and stuff. I'm like,
oh no, yeah, that is definitely overwhelming. Yeah, I get that. And last up, best way to cook potatoes. Come on, Adam.
Sorry,
you're cooking.
Had lag there.
Best way to cook.
Best way. Ooh, this is not bad. So there are many solid ways to cook potatoes.
Oh yes,
and I think
there are many right ways. There are many right ways.
I'm going to say making chips yourself is not one of them.
Really?
Making your own chips is a pain in the ass.
It is, but it's not. That doesn't mean it's not the best way to cook them.
No, I think efficiency wise, it is because of because if I'm going to do, I'm doing correctly. I am double frying them, chilling them in between. It's like a whole freaking day thing just to make chips. So russet would be my go-to. Do you know what russet potatoes are?
Yeah, of course.
The ones with the little incisions.
Yeah.
And you bake them twice, or you can fry them once and then bake them once, or bake them and fry them. And then you just like open that bad boy up, put some garlic butter in there.
It's good. It's good.
It only takes one skill. Like you just have to be good with the knife and getting the incisions correct and not effing them up. Outside that, it's foolproof.
I mean, you still have to cook them for long enough.
Yeah, well, whatever. Chuck the right temperature on and put a timer on your phone. It's easy. It's
right
literally
temperature, because it's just so easy to get the right temperature on these things.
If you don't know what temperature it should be, it's 180. That's pretty much it. That's
180 what, Adam? 180 what? We use different degrees in our countries, remember?
Well, use 180, and if it doesn't work, you're doing the wrong one.
Well, I just screwed up my potatoes.
No, you didn't. It just took longer. Because if you're on 180, if you're on 180 Fahrenheit, and obviously nothing is happening.
Listen,
I would hope an adult would be like, "Oh, nothing is happening. I should probably turn it up."
I have
whatever the crap it is.
I have an air fryer. Right, talking about useless appliances. This is the most useful appliance I have ever purchased. An air fryer has been the best kitchen purchase I have ever made. Oh my God, that thing is amazing. And I will make roasted potatoes in there at least 3 times a week because it's so quick and easy. And roasted potatoes, I think, is my way to do it. Because like you can put the different spices on it. You can mix it up every time. It's a different flavor for your mouth every single time you have it. My son loves it too. So 3 times a week at least.
The only potato dish that I would say I like better than the russet, and I really do like roast potatoes, is I think it's fondant potatoes. It's a French dish where you essentially just cut out little circle discs of potato and then cook them just straight in butter, just clarified butter. Just cook them in that until they're done. And that is effed up delicious, but not something I recommend people eating very often.
Yeah, no, with that much butter, that makes sense. That makes sense for sure. But sounds delicious. I'll definitely do it at least once before I hit my 60s, probably.
Yes.
Just in case. All right, and that's it.
Ooh, that's well, guys. Everybody, hopefully you've enjoyed joining us live. If I didn't say it at the start, we do this live at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, so you can definitely come and catch the show live. We have a wonderful chat community. Thanks so much to Nurgle, Matt, KR, Erwin, and the rest for joining us and being such amazing members of our chat community. And hopefully you become a part of it too. We also have a Patreon, which actually is getting up and running again quite consistently. Of course, we didn't do a show last week, but our Patreon show is a look back on the events we covered on this show. So, for example, this week's coming show will probably be recorded on Wednesday and come out on Thursday or early Wednesday next week. And it'll literally be one, if not 2 of us looking back at the results of the 3 events for this week we just covered. So who won, what factions won, sometimes having a look at their win pass, the top 10 of that said event, and then one of those lists from the top 10 that was spicy. Then we unpack it and we see who won points from the selection. So, Paul's got Blood Angels. If Blood Angels make the podium, he gets some points for his monthly tally. And then we add up every month and see who was the champion of the show for that year. As I need to know, and you need to know, because the reigning defending champion right now is yours truly, not this guy or that guy. Dead Sanguinius didn't get many points last year.
No, but it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. He'll do better next time.
He'll do better next time.
On that note, we are out of here. Dustin, say your good nights.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We will see you next week. Happy gaming this weekend.